Justin Timberlake and the fact that he sold his entire catalog. Now, out the gate, I do want to just create some clarity for you guys because we talk a lot about how when artists are signed with record labels, the record labels own what are called the masters. So it's the final recorded version of their songs. But the artists retain the rights to their compositions, which means publishing rights. So there's money coming in related to different portions of the song. The artist still gets that for the rest of their life. So when you hear about these big sales, right, and we'll talk about the purchasing company, but we talked about Bob Dylan, we talked about Bruce Springsteen, Springsteen, Neil Young, and Stevie Nicks. The company that acquired the publishing rights to those catalogs, as well as Justin Timberlake's, is the one and the same. So first and foremost, let's talk about, did this include the songs from NSYNC? And the answer is, well, we got to ask, did Justin Timberlake write all of the songs for NSYNC? The answer is no, but we do know that he wrote some of them. So with
he
this
wrote
sale,
Gone, and he wrote that's the one I can always think of. What's the other one? Because he wrote the ones that he wrote with the Neptunes. He co-wrote, and that was like a big move because that was the start of him going solo. Were those songs that he did with Pharrell on the Celebrity album?
Right. So it was a very small portion, at least we can say, of the NSYNC catalog. But of course, we're talking over the span of, 20 years. And it was collectively around 200 songs that were acquired.
Girlfriend.
Oh, was that one? Yeah.
Girlfriend, yeah.
Yeah, and as always with these deals, they don't disclose the exact amount that was paid, but it's estimated that it was around 100 million. And that's saying something because, again, that's not even the masters, right?
That was my first question when I was coming in, just to talk to you a little bit about it and just to verify it. I was just like, that's not even the masters. That's just his cut of it, his stuff, whatever he owns.
It's just the publishing, but that does include SexyBack, Can't Stop the Feeling, Mirrors, and what's it? Comes Around. What's the one
that goes around comes around?
Goes around comes around. So over the course of his solo career, he's had 5 albums. Yeah, 5 albums, 40 singles. And then it took about a year to close this deal. Now, guys, as an entertainment and music attorney, I am doing these deals. And I'm literally in the process of doing a few of these deals right now. And, they are big ticket items. I mean, this was obviously for Timberlake, this was a higher ticket item because of who he is and because of the brand, the legacy, and the earning potential for his catalog. Because the way that this is structured is that this is a conglomerate of investors. And so I guess this was a partnership of a fund that's managed by Blackstone. And, they all get together and they're kind of sold on this idea of investing and purchasing these rights. So Hipgnosis then partnered to purchase these assets. And we know that this company has done this exact thing, right? So we talked about the other acquisitions, and between, I think it was 2018 and 2020, they paid something just shy of $2 billion in the rights that were acquired. But what they're doing and what the market seems to be doing is buying into the fact that song rights and earning rights is more valuable than investing, let's say, in oil, right? Or investing in gold, which can fluctuate in the value. But when it's kind of for these legacy acts, right? So we know that you loved that song, you had your first kiss to that song, you better believe you're going to be listening to that song for the rest of your life. And it's going to have that same sentimental value, so that the kind of, our love for music is not, or it's inflexible, right?
Right. And I'm looking at Justin Timberlake just on his Spotify numbers. I mean, he's rocking 27 million monthly listeners. That Can't Stop the Feeling song has 1,372,000,000 plays on it right now. Like, so I mean, he's got hits. I mean, his songs are definitely gonna last. So it's very cool,
Well,
but it is shocking to see that he's so young. He's just so young. I mean, you're just seeing, we're hearing about the Bob Dylans and the Neil Youngs and stuff like that, a little bit further along. Like if you told me he did this in like 20 years or something, but I mean, there are artists that are, kind of younger that have, sold at least either partially of their catalogs or have sold, their entire catalogs. I know Massive Attack, one of my favorite trip hop groups, they sold a big portion of their catalog. So I mean, it's not ridiculous, but
yeah, but it's becoming more commonplace, right? So the same company, Hipgnosis, purchased Chainsmokers catalog in 2019, Shakira, Red Hot Chili Peppers. So
Chili Peppers, yeah.
I think they're really trying to kind of corner the market. And the reason, where artists are usually not wanting to sell the limited, rights that they do have left in their music, but you're seeing it happen more and more, and specifically with this company, which was founded by Merck. I mean, let me say his last name correctly. Mercuriadis. So Merck Mercuriadis. And I watched an interview that he gave before this live stream, and he was just talking about the company and why these music rights are so stable for investors and why it's so smart, and the fact that he has personally managed Beyonce, he managed Elton John, and so from that relationship, he had just kind of expressed to them, not only is he a fan, but he wants to make sure that their legacy lives on, that the music is exploited correctly. Right. And so what he was explaining is that what their company does is that every time they bring on a new catalog, they bring on a new staff member whose sole job is to manage that catalog, get what's called syncs, get the music placed in TV and film, and to really work the catalog so it makes money for the investors who just paid, let's say, $100 million for Justin Timberlake's catalog.
Right. That's crazy. I'm seeing that Imagine Dragons has sold their catalog. They've done everything they've up to now for 100 million. You mentioned Stevie Nicks. I see the Killers, all their songs up until 2020. Did you get this thing that I sent you? It's kind of interesting just to see all the different artists that have.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not seeing that.
Hold on, let's see here.
Jonathan's asking, is this company trying for a monopoly? So Hipgnosis, or the founder Merck, he talked about the fact that I think, as of 2020, they had acquired about 60,000 songs, but he just needs to, compare it to, for example, Sony ATV, right? So Sony 5 million songs. So the fact that they are trying to kind of make a change in the industry and to be an industry leader, I think is clear. But at this point, Merck has said, we're not trying to acquire more than like 150,000 songs. I think that's the goalpost, or at least at the point that I got that point in the interview. So in any case, I don't think it's so much of going for a monopoly, but trying to go for a meaningful change in the industry. Because, songwriters are at the bottom of the totem pole. Songwriters are the ones that get paid the least. They get acknowledged the least. I think it's as bad for them as it is for producers. So I think that Merck is trying to change that with his company. And, it sounds like so far so good and things are going well. And for the Timberlakes of the world, they're getting paid.
So I'm seeing here, Disturbed has sold their entire catalog to somebody called Primary Wave, price undisclosed. Like I said, the Killers, Lindsey Buckingham from Fleetwood Mac, he sold everything from his Fleetwood Mac stuff. Blondie sold 197 songs to that Hipgnosis for price undisclosed. Culture Club, Devo. I saw John Legend. Bob Rock, major producer. He sold all of his Metallica rights to Hipgnosis. Like I said, Massive Attack, Silverchair, Beastie Boys. I mean, these, like, everyone kind of gets in the game. Chris Isaac, The Weeknd, Drake, Justin Bieber have sold a bunch of their songs. So that's probably something that artists kind of do too. Like, maybe they're not selling their whole catalogs, but they are selling, just 4 or 5 of their songs here or there.
And so for example, some of the deals that I'm doing, we're still in the ballpark of millions of dollars for the acquisition of these catalogs, because you have to forecast. And so even Merck was talking about how we determine the multiple of what needs to be paid on the catalog. We just look at how much is the catalog making on an annual basis, and then we have to have an industry standard multiple of what that valuation is going to be and what the purchase price is going to be. And Merck, for his company, said that multiple is typically 14.76, and it changes, right? So the multiple might be, if you're making $400,000 on your catalog annually, it could be as low as 12 multiple, but you can go all the way up to 22 multiple. So now you're in 2 million to 10 million for a purchase price for, let's say, a more unknown name. But, you know, it's crazy nowadays because, you know, our unknown independent artists who are still getting 50 million plays on a song. And so then they're selling that song. So, I mean, there's real money to be made, but that's why it goes back to retaining your rights,
Right.
not just, you know, your composer rights, your publishing rights, but the rights in the music. If you own the masters and now you're selling the masters, then, you know, you have a lot more negotiation power. So, you know, control it as much as you can and try not to just give it away when you don't even know what you're getting in return by signing with a label.
I wonder if that was a headline when the Chili Peppers sold their rights. I wonder if anybody did the whole give it away, give it away, give it away now. Your music rights.
Stop.
Hey-o.
You're killing me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so I mean it's crazy, and again, from the trends that I'm seeing with major artists selling their catalogs, from the deals that I'm personally overseeing, this is trending towards investors want to invest in masters. And it's not even just in the United States. We're doing these deals in other territories and other countries. And so, you know, it's interesting and it's very exciting.